Hello everyone, how are you today? It's Kay. So this is the 3rd of December and this is Friday. So as the title says, there was a non-farm payrolls in the US and also unemployment rate in Canada. There are two big news just earlier, about 30 minutes ago. So we will check charts and see what's happening and see if we can still trade or not. So usually when there's a big news like this, I close all the positions unless I set the break even and come back afterwards. So in fact, I took a trade on one of these pairs, which was Euro, I think it was AUD USD. I took the sell. Sorry, AUD CAD, sorry. AUD CAD, I took the sell. But I exited before the NFP because I expected the market will very spiky at the time of the news. So yeah, let's check charts and start the session right now. Since this is Friday, we just relax and drink a tea or coffee, and then listen to the live stream today. All right, so let me change the screen and get started right now. So this content is basically based on my own experience. So when you take trades, please do at your own risk. And also, since this is live stream, if you can please follow the rules and guidelines, that would be great. Because after all, we're all here to learn. Okay, so I hope you're having a great Friday right now. So let's see. All right, Asif, Gabby, David, and Bram, Bagar and Root, Wong and Lahan and Besam, Aturusitaram and Javad, Lahan and Charlotte. Good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Oh, all right. So let me switch to trading view and see what's happening right now. I was monitoring the chart with the members, but I saw that there was a nice breakout on AUD-CAD. So as Lahan says, yeah, AUD-CAD is been downtrending. So let's see if we can take a look at the lower time frames and try to look for the possible entry chance. But before that, we have to make sure that there is no support level around. So let me squeeze the chart like this. And just to make sure there is no support level. And I can see that there is a wick here, 2 wicks pointing downwards. So the market might be supported here and reverse backwards. But once the market breaks that level, which is 0.9008, then it can go down. So next pin bar or next doji will be here. I can see the pin bar doji here. So the market can go down to over here, which is 0.8846 target. And then after that, the market can drop down to all the way to 0.8470. So we have 3 different levels for targets by these supports. So now the market is going down and it's reaching to the first target. So we have to hold until the market breaks this level, 0.9008. So yeah, but AUD-CAD is trending nicely downwards. But I have already exited because I was actually on sell. Let me show you exactly where I sold. So I sold it on 0.9053 and expected the market goes bearish after I said it. But soon the market went backwards in range. So this time I kept holding it because it didn't really touch my stop loss. And afterwards, my stop loss is here. And afterwards, the market went backwards. And at the NFP, this one, there's a long wick pointing upwards. And then afterwards, it went bearish. So if I kept my trade, then I will be exiting with a stop loss and the market goes down afterwards. So it was a right decision not to not to keep holding during the news in this case. So this is why I exit the trade before the news if I cannot set the break even. Because of this week, the position will be taken out. All right, Bagger says, I made a mistake, forget to put stop loss on AUD USD and my account is wiped. Oh, that's so sorry to hear that. Yeah, so that's a big lesson. So next time, make sure to put the stop loss. Like I mentioned previously, stop loss is like seatbelt on the highway. So you better put stop loss every time you drive a car in the highway, in the tradings. So yeah, that was AUD CAD, and today the NFP result was negative. So looks like all the USD pairs are sold. So Euro USD was going up, but now it's retracing backwards. So there was an impact as usual, but the impact was not so much. This is in 5-minute chart, but if you look at the 1-hour chart, you see only one wick pointing upwards, and that was the impact. So looks like the impact was limited today after NFP. So we'll see which else is trending right now. So Euro AUD was up, but now it's flat. In a forward chart, it is also flat, so I will delete this orange flag. And the Euro Swiss franc was also trending bearish. I think it was in the daily chart, it was bearish also. Still continues to be bearish below the Tenkan Sen, so this is continuously downtrending. And in 1-hour chart, it's still bearish. So Euro Swiss franc, we can still look for the sell chance in lower time frame. So if I drop down to the 5-minute chart, and in 5-minute chart, this chart looks very tricky. We can draw this descending trend line like this, and it's be bouncing once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So in that sense, this can be a good sell chance. So and when I look for an entry edge, I use Bollinger Band and Stochastics for supportive confirmations. But now this is a bit flat ranging, so I think this is not a good timing to enter right now. We have to wait for the market to go down. At least I wait for the breakout of the previous support here at 1.0390 area. And then I wait for, after the breakout, I expect the band walking, and also stochastic dead cross can happen. And then I might be selling it. But right now, this is not a good timing. So I just hold still. And since this is a Swiss franc pair, it can be very spiky suddenly. So I have to wait for the clear confirmation for the entry. But yeah, Euro Swiss franc looks good for entry. So we will come back to this chart later on. So let's move on to the next pair for Ichimoku. So USD/JPY has been ranging still, and there is no trend right now. So let's move on to USD CAD. So USD CAD is also flat in daily chart. Now the Kijun Sen is up and Kumo's bullish, but the market is near previous resistance. So this is not a good market to be in a trade. So let me look for a good pair to trade right now. Let's see, Pound AUD broke the Kumo. Pound AUD was good actually. Pound AUD, I also monitored this one today because it was up, broke the Kumo in the daily chart, and also in the forward chart it was up. But now it turns out to be flat Kumo, flat Kijun Sen. So in this case, I would hold until Kumo up and Kijun Sen up. And but in terms of the daily chart, there's a nice Kumo breakout, so potentially the market can go up to here at 1.8963. And this is now in a nice consecutive N waves. So we can expect the market goes up continuously on this direction. And it can reach up to that level. But I don't think it's gonna happen today. So most likely I stay away until next Monday. So let's see. Yeah, good to see you everyone. Thank you for joining. Alright, Kareem, good to see you here. Kush and Radot, thank you for joining as well. Alright, Archback, good to see you also. Trader Steve says, hi K, CADJPY break out of power chart downtrend channel on good CAD employment data. What do you think of my TP 1.8927, TP2 90.14? So, alright, let's check the CADJPY. Alright, CADJPY in the forward chart, it's been retracing backwards now. So, yeah, as turnout of the NFP, looks like the CAD was positive. It was much better than previous, much better than consensus, the net change in employment, and the unemployment rate dropped down than previous is lower than consensus. So this is improving. It shows improving economy in the Canada. So yeah, that's why Canadian dollars are both right now. So that's why it's going up. And the question is whether the market keeps going up or not. And in terms of Ichimoku lines, right now this is ranging, still retracing backwards but ranging. So that means it could go down anytime soon. So I will draw the trend line, descending trend line, like this way, and see if it breaks that level today or not. So right now this is in the forward chart, and it takes another 3 hours 47 minutes to close. So if it closes above this descending trend line, then it may go up. But after that, we have to wait for a Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen gold cross, and Chikou span break, and Kumo breakout, and then the market can turn to be bullish afterwards. And if it turns up to bullish, then the target is going to be on the 91.26 area. So that will be the target in this case. So he mentions 89.27 is here. So that's a conservative target over here. So 89.27 around here. So yeah, it can reach that to that level. Let's see 1 hour chart. In the 1 hour chart, the Kumo is too small, so it can retrace backwards anytime soon. So in 1 hour also, I would wait for the clear breakout of this trend line, the yellow line, and then take a buy, and the initial target will be 87.24 level, the previous high from the 1st of December. But for myself, I don't trade in this situation because it's ranging in 1 hour, and I only trade when it's trending market. Yeah, so looks like all the AUD pairs are spiky right now because of also the CAD pairs are spiky right now because of the news turn out to be positive in Canada. Let's see. So pound CAD is going down because Canadian dollar is now strong. And this is near the previous support level in the forward chart. So we better wait for the breakout. If you can wait for the breakout, then you will see the head and shoulders. And this is neckline. So once the neckline breakout, then the market can go down afterwards. But still, it hasn't happened yet. So this is range technically. And also, as Ichimoku shows here, the Kumo is flat, or Senko span A is retracing backwards now. So the market is going down to the previous support. And Senko span B is flat. And Kijun Sen is flat also. Tenkan Sen dead cross. And Chikou span is too close to the previous candle. So this is ranging basically. So yeah, once again, I would wait for the breakout of the support which is 1.6921, and then look for the sell chance afterwards. Alright, so let me check what happened on gold. So I will go to commodity XAUUSD and go to the daily chart, and it's been flat still, gradually going down, but this is almost flat ranging, so I would stay away. And not only that it's going down gradually, but also there are too many wicks up and downwards, so this is too spiky. So even if I sell right now and put the stop loss based on the lower time frames, it might be taken very soon. So this is the market that I stay away. So, and if I also look at the forward chart, this is also ranging, consolidating right now. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Chikou span below the candles. So in this particular situation, what you can do is, I think sell will be the right choice because the market is below the Tenkan Sen. Sell would be a good choice in terms of this technical analysis. But as soon as the market breaks the Tenkan Sen, then you better exit in the forward chart. So Tenkan Sen right now is at 1771.67. So if the market breaks that level, then you better exit very quickly because it might be traced back to Kijun Sen in the forward chart, which is at 1785.46. So that will be, but yeah, since it's ranging, once again, we have many dojis, many wicks up and downwards. So this is the market to stay away from myself. Alright, so Rush, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Alright, so yeah, so let's come back to, oh, let me check WTI if it's affected this market or not. And I can see that there is no impact on this particular market after the news. The market was simply supported at this 61.82, slightly above. Now it turned backwards and looks like it's heading back to Tenkan Sen or Kijun Sen. So in a very short term, buy will be a right call. The target will be Tenkan Sen. And if the market breaks the Tenkan Sen, then the next target is going to be on the Kijun Sen. So, but that will be a very short term trade. In the long term, we're not still sure which way it's going. So yeah, so coming back to Forex. Yeah, so now let me look at the AUDCAD once again. So here is the daily chart. Is going down nicely. Okay, looks like it broke the target. So and now it's still going down continuously. So let's start to look at this one in the lower time frame to capture the entry edge. So what I usually do is I look at the daily time frame or the forward chart to see which way the market's going. And if I see the trend like this, then I go down to the forward chart and 1 hour chart. And in 1 hour chart, the market is going down. And in the 30-minute chart, it's also going down. So we can technically look for the sell chance, but the only concern for myself in this case is the Kumo is too thin. And when you see that very thin Kumo like this is showing that the market is overheating, in this case oversold, so the market can retrace backwards anytime soon. So let me check lower time frame situation in 5-minute chart. After the NFP, the market has been going down in I wave. So there's no retracement, there's no pullback, and this is called I wave, and now this is continuously bearish. So in this situation, I won't jump in. I better wait for the pullback to sell. Let me show Bollinger Bands. Yeah, in Bollinger Bands, it's nicely band walking, but the market can retrace backwards. So what I will do in this case is I will take the Fibonacci tool and put the most recent high and the most recent low, which is forming right now. I simply put this one like this and expect the market retrace to one of these levels. And if the market keeps going down from here, then I have to adjust the Fibonacci level gradually, pulling down like this and see which level the market will bounce. But I simply wait for the retracement and sell afterwards. Yeah, because once again, the Kumo in 30 and 1 hour are too small, too thin. So here's 30-minute chart, the Kumo is too thin. This is like needle Kumo, too thin. And in 1 hour chart, it's also very thin. So yeah, it stops me to trade right now in the lower time frame. And also, let's see, we can also take this Fibonacci extension to see if this was one of the Fibonacci extension levels in any time frames. So let's see. In terms of 1 hour chart, I can see that there is I can capture that there is a previous high at 15 UTC. This was the previous high, and I can see that the next pushback was here. So it was a shallow retracement, but there's a pushback. So we can draw the Fibonacci extension from here in between these two levels and see where the market will stop. So yeah, like this, I put so when I draw the Fibonacci extension, I go backwards. I go from down to top and see where the market most likely will stop. So according to the extension, these two levels, 1.382 and 1.618 are the target. And now the market is reaching the target. So that's why it also means that the market can retrace backwards from here. So yeah, I would stay away and just wait for the pullback. And if the market keeps going down this way from now on, and then it's like just let it go and come back on Monday. Yeah, so let's see. All right, Kush, thank you for joining. And Milos, good to see you also. Do you not use Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen in lower time frames? No, I don't. I used to use Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, and Chikou span in the lower time frames, but now I don't. Because Ichimoku is a bit lagging in lower time frames. So I figured these other tools or price action lines are more reliable to capture the trading edge in the lower time frames. All right, so yeah, so it looks like there are 3 pairs. Euro Swiss franc is trending down, and Pound USD is also trending down, and AUD CAD is also trending down. So I guess until the end of the day today, we can focus on these 3 pairs. Right? David says, hi, when you say wait for the breakout of the prior support, do you also need to see a retest of that area? No, you don't have to wait for the retest, but simply wait for the candle close. Yeah, so in this case, in 1 hour chart, if you see support level here, for example, then you have to wait for this 1 hour candlestick close will be below or above this support level. If it becomes below, then you can see that this was a breakout, and you can look for the sell chance from the next candlestick. So okay, so yeah, let's see. Let me come back to some other comments now. All right, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Okay, Paul says pound yen breakout Tokyo box. All right, let me check. GBP JPY. In 1 hour chart, I show the Tokyo box, and yeah, it is breaking Tokyo box, but it hasn't broken yet. So here again, you have to wait for the candle close to make it as a Tokyo box breakout. I think it was breaking, but now it's retracing backwards. So this is another example of why you have to wait for the candle close. This is 30-minute chart, and this candlestick is going to close in about 3.5 minutes. So if it closes above the Tokyo box, then you can say that this was a Tokyo box breakout, and from the next candlestick, it may continue to go up. But if it closes below, then this will be a rejection by this resistance level 150.70, and if the market sees this from next candlestick, it could go down this way. So when you see the market is exactly close to the support resistance like this, you have to wait for the candlestick close, and it requires patience. All right, Toko says, better entry, wait for pullback after breakout, or entry as soon as possible after the breakout. You don't have to wait for the pullback. If there's a pullback, then I will wait for it to bounce from the previous resistance, but simply I capture, if it broke, then simply I don't wait for the pullback. If I get 3 confirmations in the lower time frame, then simply I take trade. Because sometimes, the pullback doesn't happen and the market just keep going after the breakout. So I don't wait for the pullback. All right, good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. So yeah. So let's see. Let me come back to AUDCAD, see if it's still going down or not. In a 5-minute chart, yeah, it looks like it is still going down, but in a very small pips, it's going down. And also, if you look at the candlesticks, you can also tell whether the market is still going down or not. If you can simply look at this candlestick body length, initially when the trend happens, the body gets bigger and bigger, and when the trend ends, it gets smaller and smaller. And you can see this in any time frames. This is in 5-minute chart, and in 5 it happens like this. So previously, after this doji breakout, this candle body are getting bigger and bigger, but now you see this very small body here. And now this is about to become a doji after the candle close. And if it becomes doji, for example, and on the next candlestick, if it becomes bullish, then this might be the turn, and the market may retrace backwards to this way. So you can read the momentum of the market by simply looking at this body part of these candlesticks. You can try this on a daily chart or any time frames to see if it can capture this kind of movement. Okay, so now the market ended with this doji bullish. So let's see if this candlestick is gonna close above or below doji. If it closes above, then most likely it will retrace backwards, and then after the pullback, we might be looking for the sell chance. All right, let's see. Ramad says how to use Bollinger Bands in the lower time frames. I have the video about the Bollinger Bands, so if you can come to my website and scroll down, Then click on FT4. Then I explain exactly how I use Bollinger Bands in the lower time frames. You can find the link below the description from my website, and you can click on this icon for the playlist. Right, Nifty 50 please. Alright, let's see. So we will come back to the chart shortly, but let me go to Nifty index. Okay, as per daily chart, today was bearish, but okay, the market broke the Kumo. Okay, looks like the market landed below the forecast lines here. You know, you can draw the forecast lines from top to Senko span A and B, which was forming at that time. So yeah, looks like the market landed below the forecast line, so it could continue to go down. So yeah, so far this is bearish. Market has been on the bearish trend right now. It may be rejected at 17,348 and continue to go down this way. Obviously, it's not a good timing to buy. So if you want to buy, you have to wait for the Kumo breakout and buy afterwards, which may take a couple of more weeks, I guess. Okay, so let's see. So we'll continue to monitor this candlestick pattern. Okay, now still forming, but this is now doji formation. But unless the candlestick close, we never know what kind of candlestick is going to be. All right, let's see. Zebra says, when do you take stochastics dip close across at any level? Maybe you want to sell, but it shows oversold on stochastics. Does that matter to you or not? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter whether it's oversold, overbought on stochastics, because I'm only looking at the stochastics in the lower time frames. So if higher time frame is trending, then lower time frames tends to be oversold, overbought. So in that sense, I don't really care, but simply I take the crosses for the entry confirmation. So this candlestick is going to close in about 1 minute. So let's see which way it closes. If it closes bullish, then the market may turn back upwards. But if it closes bearish, then it may continue to go bearish. So we will see. All right, good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I do see many comments, so let me catch up one by one. Can you have a look at a Bitcoin? All right. So I will split the chart into two. On the left, we continue to monitor AUD/CAD. In the right, we will keep screening some other charts. So let's check the Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is exactly in the range, so no trade for myself. The market is exactly in the Kumo now, Kumo flat and Kijun Sen flat. And oops, sorry, I synchronized, so I have to split again. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin is now ranging. The market is exactly in the Kumo, and Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, so this is ranging now. So better to stay away. And in this case, we have no idea which way it's going. All right, Martin, thank you for joining from Bulgaria. Good to see you. He says, I know you mostly trade Forex, but can you share time to quick view about the Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin is like this. It's ranging now. But let's see. In terms of price action, it's gradually moving down. In this case, if I have no clues in the daily chart, then I will look at the weekly chart to see which way it's going. In terms of weekly chart, this is still, yeah, it's not bearish in the short term, but it looks like this is bullish, supported by this trend line. So as long as the market is above the weekly trend line, it's bullish. Is my view. But the Kumo's flat right now, Senko span A is flat because the Tenkan-sen is up right now. That's why Senko span A is up. So in the short term, it's bullish still, but in the mid to long term, it's becoming flat. So yeah, the market has been retracing, and we will see how far it retraces. Let's see. In the forward chart, wow, there are too many wicks in the forward chart. So this is very tricky market. So if this were the Forex pair, then I will for sure stay away. We can't say which way it's going, so we better stay away from this one. All right, David, you're welcome. Milos, yeah, you can still trade until the market closes. We have a couple of hours we can trade, but make sure if you can't set the break even, then close the position, close the trade, and come back next Monday. All right, Suresh, good to see you. Thank you for joining from India. All right, 3-minute chart Ichimoku. I never used it, so I'm not sure if it works because I only use these default time frames. And it works for me. It works. These default time frames work for me, so I just stick to it. Okay, AUDCAD take profit. Okay, so AUDCAD has been going down, and so the next target, if you follow the daily time frame, the next target is all the way down. 0.8846 is the ultimate target. Yeah, so it could sell on 0.9052. 9052 is up here. So okay, so you keep holding, and it may retrace backwards. So if you want to exit manually, then I will exit once 5-minute chart start to retrace. So once 5-minute chart start to retrace backwards, going into the bands and gold cross stochastics, and perhaps end wave bullish can happen, and then I will exit when it happens. And so that will be for the seller's mindset, that will be the exit. But as myself, if I look for another sell chance, then after some pullback, I wait for this bearish afterwards, and then I look for the sell chance when it happens. Okay, so right now there's no entry. There's no entry on AUDCAD Dalash. It's just ranging right now. It's gone too far, so we have to stop. Looking for any tradings. Sam says AUDCAD 1-minute frame is on the lowest price where there is very strong support. I think it will be a range or a bounce back later. Or you mean monthly chart? Yeah, so let's see. In terms of monthly chart, was there support? Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's no support right now. Oh, you mean this week pointing downwards? this cannot be the support, but if this was double bottom on the weekly or daily, then that was a support. So so if you look at the weekly, then yeah, there was a slight weak point downwards, and also I was seeing that there was a resistance and support at this level, 0.9008. So the market may retrace back to that level. So yeah, it could retrace back to this level here and continue to go down this way. Right. All right, so let me come back to some other comments now. Yeah, in terms of how to use Bollinger Bands in 5-minute chart, I have some videos on my website. And click on the FT4, then you get some videos about the Bollinger Bands. Yeah, AUD/CAD stop loss, if you take the sell right now, they'll be too wide. So you have to take the stop loss in the middle of this range. In this case, there is no resistances in 5. So if I sell right now, then the stop loss, I will take it based on the previous lower high. But if there is no previous lower high, then I would take the Fibonacci level. So I will draw Fibonacci, and most likely I take the stop loss at 50% level. Because if I take it in the 50% level, then there is a previous support or previous range in market. So once the market breaks a range, then it could go up continuously. So that will be my stop loss. Because after that, it may continue to go up this way. Hello, Mr. Fernandez. Thank you for joining. Good to see you here. And thank you for joining everyone once again. If you like the live stream, please press the like button before you leave. That would be great. All right, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining everyone. Right. Yeah, you can trade in Asian session. That's fine. If you see some trends in the Asian session, then you can just take it and take trades. That is totally fine. All right, so please don't repeat the comments over and over again, because I cannot see other comments. All right, so let's see. All right, Martin, you're welcome, and Sarash, you're welcome also. This waiting on AUD/CAD is very good training for patience. Yeah. So, but looks like right now the market is breaking the previous support. So in this case, we can't take a trade either. I would stay away in this case. Because all I was expecting was a pullback, but it's not happening. It just keeps going down without any retracement, and this is also where the 1-hour chart Kumo very thin, and 30-minute chart Kumo also very thin, so we have to stay away. In the forward chart, this is also becoming thin now, and in the daily chart, it's this is also too thin. So yeah, in this case, I stay away. It's my rule. Yeah, this is very difficult to trade right now. So simply, I walk away and I shut down the chart and come back a couple of hours later. All right, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Okay, so my Ichimoku setting is default. I have the default Ichimoku setting here. I can show it to you. Conversion line 9 and Kijun Sen 26, Chikou span 52. Displacement 26 and the Senko span B is 52. Yeah, you're welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Please explain your strategy to take advantage of the time difference with Japanese pairs. JPY pairs, I used to trade in Asian session when I was in Japan also. So simply I screen charts when I was in Japan. I screen charts morning, afternoon, evening in Asian session. So, and also in JPY pairs in other currencies, I treat them the same. I treat all these pairs the same manner. So simply I look for which one is trending and I take the trending markets basically. So in terms of JPY, I also look at the Tokyo box. So Tokyo box is the Tokyo session beginning and end. And if it breaks a Tokyo session like this one, USD-JPY, this is a nice example of Tokyo box breakout. So after this Tokyo box breakout, the market tends to go towards the breakout direction. And this breakout direction becomes even more powerful when you see the trend in the Ichimoku. And in terms of this one, in Ichimoku lines, it's turning bullish, but now the market is near the resistance level. So that's something you have to keep in mind. It may retrace backwards, but if there was no resistance, then after Tokyo box breakout, it can go up continuously. I think that was a good trade, but not this one. All right, Jim Jam says, hi Kay, how is your backtesting of Ichimoku with TR6 stocks is going? It's going great. It's going great. Stocks and indices. I have been backtesting and changing time frames and also changing the entry time frames, entry chance. But yeah, it's been going well. I have to study more. So most likely I will start to take trades next year, maybe February or so. So far, I just keep studying these other markets and backtesting. Martin says, can you please share your point of view about changing the Ichimoku cloud settings for 24/7 crypto markets? For myself, I only use the default, so I'm not sure. I cannot make comment because I haven't tested it yet. Yeah, but for some people, it works. For some people, if you change settings, then it works better. So if that's the case, that's good. But before taking trades with the real money, you want to backtest and you have to practice with this new Ichimoku settings. And then it should be good. Sanjip, yeah, this is in Dubai downtown. Yes, I live in Dubai right now. All right, so I guess I will be ending the live stream for now. So yeah, but looks like after the NFP, as we saw like this, the market was spiky, choppy, and yeah, the last one, this AUDCAD has been downtrending without retracement in 5. So in this case, I stay away basically. So, and since this is Friday, this is the end of the week. So no rush. If we are not confident, then simply let it go and come back on Monday. Alright, so once again, thank you for joining. And if you liked it, please press the like button. And I will see you in the next one. So until then, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gold. Right. Bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you.